Assalamualaikum and Happy New Year. And today we are going to talk about a new topic because the previous topic that we have talked about has been finished. And today we are going to talk the general social boycott. So if you are ready, you can continue this video. A pack of injustice and aggression after exhausting their plots and with their commitment of Banu Hashim and Banu al-Muttalib to protect Allah Prophet Wasallam, the pagan grew even more desperate to get the tribe to abandon their plan to protect him at whatever the cost. So they held a meeting at Kaif Banu Kinana in a place called Wadi al-Muhasab and formed a confederation hostile to both Bani Hashim and Bani al-Muttalib. They all took an oath not to have any business dealing with them or any sort of intermarriage or civilization, visit and even verbal contact until the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam was given up to them or to be killed. This they wrote down drawing a pair of covenant. Ibn al-Qayyim said they say that this has been written down by Mansur bin Ikramah bin Amir bin Hasim or Nadir bin al-Harith. What is the correction is that it was Bahi bin Amir bin Hasim. The Prophet ﷺ invoked Allah curse upon Bahid, whose hand was later paralyzed. This treaty was attached to the wall of the Al-Kaabah. All of Banu Hashim and Banu al-Muttalib were boycotted, whether they were believer or disbeliever, except for Abu Lahab. Abu Talib wisely and quietly took a stock of the situation and decided to withdraw to a valley on the eastern outskirts of Mecca. Banu Hashim and Banu al-Muttalib who followed suit and thus were confined with a narrow pass. From the beginning of Muharram or later, or some say the 7th year of the Prophet mission till the 10th year, a period of 3 years. It was a horrible and deadly siege. The supply of food was almost cut, and the people in the confinement faced great hardship. The idolaters used to buy whatever food commodities into Mecca, lest they should leak to the people in Asib, who were overstrained that they had to eat leaves of trees and skin of animals. Cries of little children suffering from hunger used to be heard clearly. Nothing eatable reached them, except on a few occasions, a small quantity of food was smuggled by some compassionate Meccans. During the prohibited months, when the hostilities traditionally ceased, they would leave their confinement and buy food coming from outside Mecca. Even then, the food stuff was unjustly overpriced, so that their financial situation would fall short of finding access to it. Hakim bin Hizam was once on his way to smuggle some wheat to his aunt Khadijah, when Abu Jahl intercepted him and tried to prevent him. Only when al-Bukhari intervened did Hakim manage to read his destination. Abu Talib was so concerned about the personal safety of his nephew that whenever people retired to sleep, he would ask the Prophet ﷺ to lie in his place. But when all the others fell asleep, he would order him to change his place and take another, all in attempt to trick a potential assassin. Despite all the odds, Muhammad ﷺ persisted, and his determination and courage never weakened. He continued to go to Al-Kaabah and pray publicly. He used every opportunity to preach to outside who visited Mecca for business or on pilgrimage during the sacred months of Hajj season. The dissolution of the pact. This situation ultimately created disagreement among the various Meccan factions who were tied with the besieged people by blood relation. After 3 years of blockade in the month of Muharram, the 10th year of Muhammad's mission, the pact was broken. Hisham bin Amr, who used to smuggle some food to Bani Hashim secretly at night, went to see Juhayr bin Abi Umayyah al-Makhzumi and condemned him for agreeing to that intolerable treatment meted out to his uncle and in exile. The latter expressed weakness, but agreed to work with his son and form a pressure group that would secure the liberation of the exiles. On the ground of motivation by ties of kinship, there emerged a group of 5 people who set out to abolish the pact and declare all relevant clauses null and void. They were Hisham bin Ammar, Zuhair bin Abi Umayyah, Al-Mut'im bin Adi Abdul Bukhtari, and Jam'ah bin Al-Aswad. They decided to meet in their assembly place and start their self-such mission from every percent of the sacred house. Zuhair, after circumambulating 7 times, along with his colleagues, approached the host of the people and criticized them for indulging in the amenities of life, whereas their kids of Cain and Bani Hashim were perishing on account of starvation and economic boycott. They swore that they would never give up until the parchment of boycott was torn to pieces and the pact broken at once. Abu Jahal, standing nearby, replied in a subtone that it would never be torn. Zam'ah became angry and accused Abu Jahal of telling lies, adding that the pact was established and the parchment was written without seeking their approval. Abul Bukhtari interfered and backed Zam'ah. Al-Mut'im bin Adi and Hisham bin Ammar attested to the truthfulness of their 2 companions. Abu Jahal, with a cunning attempt to settle the hot argument that was running counter to his evil plan, answered, and the issue had already been resolved sometime and somewhere before. Abu Talib, meanwhile, was sitting in the corner of the mosque. He came to communicate to them that a revelation had been sent to his nephew, the Prophet ﷺ, to the effect that ants had eaten away all their declarations, that the point of injustice and aggression except those part that bore the name of Allah. He proposed that he would be ready to give Muhammad ﷺ up to them if his word proved untrue. Otherwise, they would have to withdraw and cancel their boycott. The Meccans agreed to the soundness of his proposition. Al-Mu'im went to see the parchment, and there he did discover that it was eaten away by ants and nothing less, except the part bearing the name of Allah. The declaration was thus cancelled, and Muhammad ﷺ and the other people were permitted to leave Ashibin and return home. In the context of this trial, to which the Muslims were subjected, the polytheists had a golden opportunity to experience a striking sign of Muhammad ﷺ prophethood, the ants eating away the parchment, but to their miserable lot, they persisted and increased in disbelief. And it says that, but if they see a sign and they turn away and say this is continuous magic, which means that the disbeliever still won't believe the Prophet ﷺ miracles. So this is it for general social boycott. In the next video, I will be talking about the final phase of diplomacy and negotiation. So that's all for today, and thank you for watching. Assalamualaikum.